Hey guys, so welcome back to another week. It's our last week of Women's History Month, so I felt like we should finish it off with a strong woman who in history has done great things. Mama Africa. How Miriam Makeba Spread Hope with Her Song by Catherine Erskine. Miriam sang as soon as she can talk and danced as soon as she can walk. She sang folk songs as her mother played the drums. She sang pop songs for her brother and his friends. She sang hymns with her sisters and the Sunday school choir. Music gets deep inside of me and starts to shake things up, she says. And from deep inside, Miriam began to shake up the world. At church, her choir teacher tells Miriam she is free to sing out. But out in the world, Miriam is not free. Unless people have white skin, they are not free. Police raid their homes. Sometimes they are arrested. Sometimes they never return. To the bosses, the white people who rule South Africa, Miriam's people are just Bantus. Bantus, as if all people with darker skin were the same. Miriam knows better. They are Zoka, Ndembele, Zulu, Swazi, Suwana, and so many more. They each have their own songs and languages, and histories. But they do have one thing in common. The Bazes take away their freedom. So they are all Miriam's people. They one another, and they will not live this way forever. Umoya, she sings, spirit. The Bantu spirit must be broken. The Bazes decide. They even passed harsher laws of apartheid to keep the races separate, crushing the rights of black people and trying to silence their voices. But Miriam's voice will not be silenced. She goes to the big city, Johannesburg, and sings, even protest songs, in isiJoa and isiZulu, Setswana, and more, because of the Bazes don't understand those languages. It is risky, but Miriam has listened to the protest songs of American singers like Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald, and she feels brave. Who can keep us down as long as we have our music? Miriam asked. Bravely she sings out. Like a nightingale, she is so popular that everyone wants to hear her. One night, she meets a man she can tell will be a great leader. His name is Nelson Mandela, but Miriam is worried for him. The Freedom Charter he and others are writing argues that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, black and white. Everyone must have freedom, it says. Freedom? You have no freedom, the police shout. Black people in South Africa must get permission to be out in their own neighborhoods and must carry passes to prove it. If they don't show their passes to the police, they are arrested and jailed. Sometimes the police say their passes are not valid, and sometimes Miriam and her friends are thrown in jail. Still, that doesn't stop Miriam from singing. Singing always gives her strength, but one night as she and her group drive home from a concert, There is a terrible crash. Miriam and her friends are hurt, one of them very badly. They need help. Help comes, but the ambulance takes only the people in the other car. They are white. Miriam's friend, Victor, is black. By the time Miriam finds help, Victor is dead. Dead? Why did this man have to die? She sings. Ityala la mandora. Miriam is so angry. Her anger fuels her fight to stop apartheid. Surely other people in the world would help if only they knew. She decides to sing in a secret movie against apartheid to tell those outside South Africa what the Bazes are like. It is dangerous. Many people, like Nelson Mandela, have already been arrested for telling the truth. She hopes the whole world will watch. Watch out, the Bazes tell Miriam. They suspect she is acting in the anti-apartheid movie. They have no proof yet, but they will warn her. Beware. Beware. Verwoord, she sings back to the Prime Minister. Nodome Yama. To escape South Africa, Miriam disguises herself in a nanny uniform and boards a plane bound for Europe. First, for the first time in her life, she is free of apartheid. She sings in London and Los Angeles and New York about what the Bazes are doing to her people. But she cannot sing too loudly. Her whole family is still in South Africa. What will the Bazes do to her people back home? Home? South Africa is no longer your home, the Bazes tell her. If she ever tries to return to her country, they will put her in jail. Even when she finds out her mother is sick, the Bazes will not let her back in. In tears, Miriam sings, Senzeni na, what have we done? She knows her people have done nothing to deserve what the Bazes do to them. She stays in America and turns her tears into songs against the Bazes. The Bazes pass more laws to stop people from protesting. They arrest thousands and jail many. Two of Miriam's uncles are killed in the struggle for freedom. The Bazes simply say, we do not intend to get upset by what is being said and all the ignorance in the outside world. But the outside world is no longer ignorant. They start listening to Miriam's songs. She sings to her people to be brave. Jolinkomo, she sings of police raids. Kawuleza, she sings of her people being jailed. Lakushona, Ilanga, she sends them strength with her song. Her song becomes so strong that she's invited to the United Nations to speak about South Africa. From this stage, she can tell the whole world. The whole world is listening. Miriam feels very small in this giant building. Her voice is small too, like a nightingale's. But she thinks about her mother, her family, her people. She finds strength. I appeal to you, to all the countries of the world, to do everything you can to stop the coming tragedy. She thinks about Nelson Mandela, who can lead her people to freedom, and her voice gets stronger. I appeal to you to save the lives of our leaders, to empty the prisons of all those who should have never been there. As she speaks, her voice grows louder and louder, larger and larger. until it fills the huge chamber and spills into the ocean and wraps around the world. Her voice is like the roar of a lion, a mother lion of South Africa. Mama Africa. Mama Africa, she sings for us. Her people hear her roar. The Bazes ban her music, but they cannot stop her song. On hidden radios, people listen. Listen, she travels the world, America, Europe, Africa, asking people to help their brothers and sisters in South Africa. South Africans, many of them, both black and white, protest apartheid. Marching, striking, speaking, writing. Some black protesters must flee the Bazes. They go to Northern Africa to find Mama Africa. Mama Africa helps the refugees, young men and women, even children. She gives them food, clothes, and song. When her song becomes too loud for some, they say she is not a singer, but a politician. I am no politician, she says. I just see what I think is wrong and what is right. And then something very wrong happens that shows the world Mama Africa's right. In the township of Soweto, school children protest being taught in Afrikaans, the language of apartheid. They are peaceful, they are unarmed, but the police shoot and kill many of them. Children! The world is horrified. Horrified, Mama Africa watches as protests continue. Children are jailed and her people fall one by one, beaten down. She rises up with her song, Soweto Blues. Musicians around the world follow with their songs. It's wrong, Johannesburg. Free Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela is still in prison. Mama Africa must be his voice and keep his people strong. More and more, black, white, Asian people, people of all races, join anti-apartheid. Groups in South Africa, allies around the world join her song. Her song is strong. Mama Africa will not give up. She will see her people free. Give us our land. Mambayeke. Voices everywhere grow so loud that the Bazes have to listen. They are losing allies, money, and power. Apartheid is crumbling. Mayebuye Africa. Come back, Africa. Mama Africa roars. Mandela hears her roar. He says he will help the Bazes find a way to end apartheid and share the country equally. The Bazes must finally face the truth. All people of South Africa must have their freedom. Freedom! Mama Africa watches Mandela walk out of prison. She watches the laws of apartheid fall one by one, and she sees her people stand tall. She sings with joy. Finally, her people are free. Free at last, Mandela cries, and the crowds cheer. Not everyone in South Africa is free. Not everyone can go where they want, live where they want, and be who they want. Now Mama Africa can come home. Home! Mama Africa was finally home. She sang in celebration. She sang for the for the Zoas and Zulu and Ndembele and Swansea and all the races. She sang for her mother. She sang for the children.